With the enormously large amount of movies and shows the MCU has been making, it's not surprising that many people for the past 2 or 3 years have been saying that they're kind of sick of superheroes. I mean, even I, a person who has over $500 worth of Marvel comics, has been getting tired of the generic, quippy, trying to balance comedy and serious direction the MCU has evolved over its 15-year lifespan. I skipped many of the shows that came out in Phase 4 and 5, and I bet many of you did too. And the fact that DC is also planning on starting a brand new cinematic universe next year, after the absolute mess their first try was, isn't helping either. There has already been enough video essays talking about this exact issue on the internet, so I'm not gonna recite everything they have already said. I bet most of you already know. We're starting to hit an age where Marvel surprisingly isn't pulling $1 billion in a box office every single release, and many people either just don't care for superheroes anymore, or want something new or unique. Or maybe even something that's not lazily written generic superhero movie number 22. A lot of people have cited shows like The Boys or Invincible as good replacements, which they really aren't. They're very clearly made for a different purpose, and I don't think you need a gritty, gore-filled drama to make a good superhero shows nowadays. And I wanted to make a video highlighting those shows, the cool animated TV shows that aren't gory as hell, but they're just fun. Not the MCU fun, the actually fun. So if you're sick of the MCU, maybe these 4 shows could help. I don't know, I just wanted to talk about them. Listen up, I know you've probably already heard of My Adventures with Superman, most likely from the extremely large amount of porn there is of Lois Lane, like Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down. I get it, she's cute, but there's over 20 pages of this shit. Or maybe the large amount of people who were hating on Lois because she felt offended that Clark lied to her about his powers, which is a very normal thing to be bugged about considering this person who has been by your side always, and you have said on multiple occasions that you hate lies to, just like to about them being a superhero that you were trying to figure out the identity of, but I won't get into the details of it. What I wanted to talk about is that season 2 came and went without many people talking about it, and that's a shame because it's definitely a big step up from its predecessor in almost every way. Supergirl and Brainiac get introduced in this season, and I really enjoy them. They're definitely a pretty different from previous iterations of the characters, but are still very much themselves, which I appreciate a lot. Like they made Brainiac a full-on just evil ass robot this time around instead of a weird looking green alien, which is great of course. And they changed Kara from this nice and caring girl she usually is to a kinda dumb and intimidating brute with a nice heart underneath, which is definitely a fun
My best
change.
friend.
Why did you say it that way? Is this best friend your enemy now? Jimmy Flamebird, I will make your enemies mine!
No, it's just.
There's also a thing between her and Jimmy, and I gotta compliment this man. He caught a baddie. There's also Lex, who is now a skinny white kid with glasses. And like, I don't hate it, it's just, what the fuck? I don't know where Jack White's ability to play a bumbling buffoon in a cool superhero show is coming from, but he has done it pretty well for the second time in a row.
The new lad, Huey. Huey, mother's milk.
That's a nickname?
No, my mother actually named me Mother's Milk.
Did she?
So we got a Gore and a Stephen Hawking. Great.
The show has a great fucking take on Cal in a way that he's a normal guy. Like, he grew up on Earth with human parents despite his powers. He's just a normal dude. And that's something a lot of things get wrong, surprisingly. Like in the original 70s movie, Superman is this robotic goody two-shoes that never does anything wrong, and Lois is the only thing he cares about, which is very much not the case in the source material. While DCEU's Superman is an emotionless, broody hero who can also be an asshole sometimes, which is even worse, he also gets compared to Jesus, like on multiple occasions. I usually like to be fair with Zack Snyder's superhero movies, but Zack, what were you thinking with that one? This is probably one of the best iterations of Clark Kent ever, at least in my opinion, and you'd be a fool if you don't admit that Clark and Lois are the absolute cutest couple in the entirety of the DC universe. Like, look at them. This is the best fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at these two. The show's got a lot of Saturday morning cartoon vibes. Many of the episodes are mainly one-time adventures that get kinda included later on in the plot, which has a similar progression to shows like Adventure Time or The Owl House. So if you're a fan of those, you'll like this one too. The one thing I have to say is that I wish the main cast was bigger. It's mainly Clark, Jimmy, and Lois, which I feel gets somewhat boring after a bit, especially when they get split up for the plot convenience. But that's pretty much the only big issue I have with it. And we're only gonna go up from here since season 3 is gonna introduce Superboy and hopefully Crypto, I hope, at some point. So it's safe to say I'm excited for the rest, and I definitely recommend it. Listen, before you say that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles aren't superheroes, shut the fuck up before I come to your house and beat your ass. Now, I know many people hate on this show because of its animation, but listen, you get used to it, and it's more of a worthy sacrifice for the absolute amazing story. Every episode is really fun to watch. The characters are really, really well developed for a kid show, and some of these character designs are fucking sick. I know a lot of people don't like the 3D, but you can't deny that these mutants look sick as hell. I would definitely say that this iteration of the TMNT is the best, at least TV wise. Now, I haven't seen the 2003 show or the old one, so I can't comment on those, but it's definitely better than the movies, with the original's weird switch between seriousness and slapstick, and the new ones, absolutely disgusting CGI. Every single season is a step up from the last one. Like, you have the first season, which is an amazing way to introduce the turtles, and the villains as well. Most of the episodes aren't connected, but that to me isn't a bad thing because they're just fun, I guess. The second season is like a better first season. Casey gets introduced as well as this tiger dude who looks really fucking cool. The fights and the drama are doubled. There's also a bunch of new mutants that get introduced in a season, and it's just really fun. There is also a cat made of ice cream. Like, how the fuck can you not say no to this shit? Look at her, bro. She's so fucking cute. Season 3 follows the turtles taking refuge in April's family's cottage after a loss against Shredder and Krang, which is probably my personal favorite arc in the entire show. The turtles get these cool suits for like an episode or two, and they look awesome. I also watched this specific KMV way too much when I was younger. Shout out to Starset, they make some amazing music. In season 4, they go to space. Raph gets an alien girlfriend. Damn. Also, Shredder looks like this in the second half. Like, I have no words. And in season 5, they time travel. Do I need to say more? So in conclusion, watch this show, it's amazing. I know I'm talking about two TMNT shows in the same video, but this one is also really good and gets hated for absolutely no reason. So you gotta bear with me for a second. TMNT 2018 released only a year after the last one we talked about's finished, and it's also awesome. I don't have all that much to say about it, but this show's art style is actual eye candy. Amazing colors, unique designs, it's incredible. It doesn't have the intense drama and it's basically fully episodic, but that doesn't mean it's bad, it's just made for someone else. A lot of people really didn't like the changes the show made, but after the many iterations of the same characters, I really enjoy a fresh take on the formula. Look at Shredder. He's a fucking demon. Casey is a woman working for the Foot Clan, and I know many people didn't like that change, so they changed it for the movie and introduced the real Casey as a person from the future sent to recruit the Turtles to defeat Shredder, who became a fucking demon lord or some shit. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. Splinter is now a couch potato that somehow knows martial arts incredibly well, which is an interesting change, but still works, I guess. All the turtles are now different species of turtle, which is probably my favorite change. The show sadly got canned after 2 seasons and a movie because people didn't like it, which is criminal in my opinion. Because of that, the ending feels really rushed, but still has the same amazing fight scenes and character designs that the show is known for. So please give this show a chance because it's really underrated and amazing. I know I'm really stretching to this point that OK.KO is not really a superhero show, but listen, it's still fucking amazing. The protagonist is the cutest guy ever. I really, I really fucking like him. He's spunky, really nice. He's loud, but not the Asta type of loud, the endearing type of loud. You can tell he's really into it and really wants to be a superhero, which makes him even more awesome. The show has a lot of slapstick and funny moments. It's not a drama or series by any stretch of the imagination, but it's really fun to watch. Most episodes are episodic and follow either KO or some other character getting into some insane situation. KO is a very Steven Universe type of protagonist that wants to help everyone and just gets into some insane shit all the time. We also get a lot of episodes about supporting characters like KO's friends or even villains. The show is really inspired by anime and video games, which is probably the reason I enjoy it so much. There's also just a straight up Sonic collab at some point, which is just a full circle, right? You can tell the show is very inspired by DBZ, specifically because KO has these power forms called TKO and PKO, which I love so much. There are multiple episodes dedicated to TKO, and he's not just a super form, he's like a completely different personality. He just, if Dark Sonic was actually developed, not just a form that appeared for a minute in one episode, it's has a lot of very fun characters like KO's mom and his friends, and a lot of fun side characters that are unique and funny in their own way. Like the villains are entertaining to watch. The main bad guy is clearly inspired by Eggman. I mean, just look at him. And his kids are also really fun to watch as well. The show works on power scaling and levels, which makes it even easier for YouTubers making power scaling videos. Every person basically has this card that says their level on it, which makes it so easy to understand. At some point, there's even some drama that deals with Kao's mother's old team and Kao's dad, which I will not say for surprise reasons, of course. If you want to be an asshole, you can say this isn't a superhero show, but who cares? It's fun, bro. I said it also has a lot of crossovers. They did one with many Cartoon Network properties. It's awesome. And Captain Planet as well, which is pretty funny to be honest. Most episodes are 11 minutes, which is pretty annoying because in some cases they don't get to flesh out some story beats and sometimes they feel rushed, but it's a kid show, so it's kind of expected. The show has 3 seasons, and seasons 2 and 3 is when the show gets really, really good. In the last episode, Kale gets this redesign, which is a darker red band and a cool sharp that I really wish was his design the whole time because just look at it, bro. I'm a really big sucker for the fucking sharp teeth. I don't know why. Surprisingly good for what it is, and it needs more attention than it has, at least in my opinion. Alright, we're done. So if you're interested in any of these shows they mentioned in this video, go watch them because they're all phenomenal. I'll be very happy if this video made somebody watch any of these amazing shows. They're all very much worth your time, trust me. So with that, have a great day, don't doubt yourself, always be positive. Goodbye.